Toastmaster Joy. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our Division C Governor Rosaleen Roy. We welcome you, ma'am. How many of you do not know Toastmaster Jiju Verghese? So I don't need to introduce him, right? Yeah. He was the first RJ in Bahrain, heading the IT department in Bahrain Flour Mills. A champion speaker in international speech as well as table topics, district champion. He's a winner twice in table topics. So we have a lot to listen and to see in his body language. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Jiju Verghese.
Am I audible? No. Am I audible? Yes. Brilliant. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for the lovely smiles that you carry. You know what that shows? You know what that shows?
You are validated.
That shows that I am being validated and you love being here. Alright. Let me just wake you up once more. Hands up. Hands down. Alright, we'll play a very small game. Alright? Simon Says. When Simon says, you've got to do the same thing. Are you ready? Simon says, right hand up. Simon says, left hand up. Simon says, right hand down.
Which hand up?
Anyway, y'all are up by now, so let's move ahead. We are come to talk about two aspects or three aspects in this 15 minutes jumbled up time. It's all about how to use your stage, how to use your body, and how to use your voice. These are the three critical elements by which you nail the final nail into the coffin. And you say, I have delivered the best. You write a very good speech. You choose a fantastic message. But then if you do not use the elements that are required to deliver one of the best speeches, you fall flat. Have you had a Coca-Cola which has been opened? Your kid has forgotten to put the cap on, and the next day morning you feel, oh, let me have a little bit of cola. And you go and open the cola bottle, you pour it down, you don't see the fizz, you drink it, how does it feel? Exactly the same?
Yeah.
Exactly the same happens when you do not have the material to deliver with your body and use your stage. Often people use a big mistake of using the stage as a clock. I don't know how many of y'all have seen this. And then the speech started, and he went on speaking, and he went on speaking. He is walking all over. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I do.
Aimless walking like a pendulum. Second thing, you should go and watch the speakers who, if you can mute their volume, you'll find them as traffic policemen. Have you seen this kind of speaking? Aimless moving because I need body language. My speech says I need body language, so I'm using body language. That's not body language, that's not use of the stage, my friends. You need voice, so you scream at the top of your voice and use your voice. That's not voice modulation either. Unfortunately, all these key elements are misunderstood by speakers, and they present speeches in such a way that it becomes like that flat cola which you drink in the morning with the cap left open. What you need to create your speeches more interesting is usage of the right space of the stage. When you see a stage, it's normally in a contest, the contest chair comes up and says, your speaking area is from here till here, till here, and back till here. So when he draws a speaking area, normally what people do is, okay. So he decides that this is the speaking area, I've got to touch every corner. And he aimlessly runs to one corner because he said this corner is the final corner too. Oh no, I've forgotten that corner, so I'll run to this corner too. My God, the back corner is left, and I run to the back corner too. And at times I show my back and run here too. It's an aimless run. Normally I've seen champion speakers, they come up with a chart plan. They come up with a chart plan by saying that my state is a U, and I've got to use the U. So I will use the stage exactly like a canvas. Have you seen a canvas? Or let me ask you, which is the best painting that you've seen? Michelangelo? The Last Supper?
3D anamorphic.
Yeah, 3D anamorphic painting, the world record that we all set? No?
Yeah.
Any painting that you can think of? What was that before? Just a plain canvas. What was used to create an image? Paints. Exactly the same, I say, use your stage as a canvas and paint your story. For example, if I start about my life when I was in college, and I stand here and speak about my college experience, and I say when I did my engineering, we were in an all-boys school, so we never knew how to deal with beautiful girls. So we were extremely rude. But then time passed, and then I came into working, and I joined Digital India in Pune. There I came across one of the best trainers, Amy from America, and she taught me the skill of how to deal with humans. Forget girls. And then later on, when I have a child of mine, Rebecca, she teaches me how to deal with humanity, how to have that human touch which can deliver. Do you remember where I was? A rude man. Do you remember how Amy took me and made me understand humans? And my daughter, amazing. I just created 3 scenes. Could you see me when I pointed here? Could you see my college life? Could you see Amy here? Could you see my daughter Rebecca here? It's all about using your stage and creating stories. You know why you do this? So I don't have to repeat back what I did in college. I don't have to repeat to my audience what I did here with Amy. I don't have to repeat with my audience what I did with Rebecca. So I use my stage to create a message. Are we getting the message across? Brilliant. Next thing is about voice. Often people make a mistake about not using their voice. I was very happy and overjoyed. Oh, I was elated. But I was also angry. It becomes a humor speech, my friends. Where did I show anger? Where did I show my joy? Where did I show my elation or my position of my status of mind? I was overjoyed. You see the voice? It comes out that way. And I was very angry. See the anger in my voice? Use your voice to convey your message. What stops you from doing so? You know what? Just open your jacket, look inside and say, you'll find the person who's stopping you. It's you yourself who stops you from using your body and using your voice and using the stage to create a message. We'll quickly run through these slides. Body language is exactly a mutual relationship or an influence between a mind and a body. How your mind thinks, your body will react. How your mind thinks, your body will react. Very simple statement. If your mind thinks that you're angry, you will show anger. So in your speeches, you should employ your mind for your body to react accordingly. So live the character that you're going to portray there and be the person in the speech that you want to show to people. Next is, how does the formation of body language happens? I did a kind of research for this to be explained out. It's external events that triggers some internal representations which you filter out, and that forms as behavior. Complicated, right? Yeah, simple. You know, when for the simplest of the examples, Tiji is my brother, so I can always use him, and Ahmed is my brother. If I call Ahmed a donkey on the street and he doesn't know me, that's an external event for Ahmed Shukri, who doesn't know Jiju Varghese? That has created some internal representations, and Ahmed Shukri suddenly has grown 2 big ears and a tail and is on 4. Right? He filters this information and comes out as behavior and says, how dare you call me a donkey? You see that? That's how body language comes in natural actions and natural flows. You get the logic of body language, right? The body language is when an external event creates an internal representation which you filter out and forms a behavior pattern for you. So identify that behavior pattern that you want to show, and you will be able to represent it. Clear logic?
Yes.
Very simple, right? Next is a key to effective communication is to keep a smile. Smile is, S means, it's only when you smile, I always say this, it's only when you smile that you get an open reaction. I've tried this in many supermarkets, I've said this in many presentations. You know, I just go in at random, I look at people and smile and nod my head, you know. You know what happens? 99% of the time, if it's a girl or a boy or anybody, they also smile and nod. And then they'll think, who was this guy? But the first thing which happens is, you get back a smile. Yeah? So imagine a speaker coming in and saying, I'm going to talk today about life. I have a life. How does this look? Now imagine a person coming and saying, my friends, today I'm going to talk about life. Do you have a life? I have a life. See the difference? So you can create with a smile. Second is M, maintain eye contact. I've seen many speakers, actually I've come to talk about life and the way that we can live life. Fortunately, the life has a liver and men have hearts and minds. Whom am I speaking to? The air conditioner, the walls, the roof and the tiles. Where is my audience? Who cares, right? So if you can maintain your eye contact with your audience, you are connected with them. The audience are not left with the scope of, oh, you know why? I don't know when the speaker will look at me. I've got to be conscious. You know? So keep your eye contact, maintain your eye contact. You come in level with your audience. You come far with them. Next is to invite response. How many times have you seen me invite response from you?
Every time.
Every time. See? I just now use that. Invite responses from audience to be connected to your audience, to have a proper body language flow and the message flow. Look at your best. I had slides to show that. Imagine me coming dressed up in a suit, right? Okay? I'm going to speak today about life. It's wonderful. How does this look? I may have material, but I don't have the looks to capture your eye. I've seen many speakers who are brilliant in speaking. The simplest example is the first image. I know you all know this gentleman very well, but forget your memories. Your memories I'm completely erasing, okay? Control, Alter, Delete. Gone? Imagine you seeing Abdul Kalam Azad for the first time as one of the main speakers here. I've already Control, Alter, deleted your image about him. Shabby hair. He's the main speaker. What is the reaction? This guy is going to speak main speaker for 1 hour. Right? The first impression. It's only when he comes and speaks, maybe he'll turn your impression, but then it'll take another 15 to 20 minutes, right? Why waste that 15 to 20 minutes? Come at your best. Look at your best and be the best when you are. The last is encourage the other person. We've often seen people come up and say, you know, you people lack something? Intelligence. And your language, absurd. I don't know whether you studied English or not. I don't know why you've come for Toastmasters. How does this feel? They'll say, come on, make way there. You've got to really kick him out of this room, you know. Instead, if a person encourages a person, you encourage people towards towards conveying your body language and using it more freely. Finally, body language is a mutual influence between mind and body. Have I established this point?
Yes.
They say face is an index of the mind, right? Yeah, just like I said, Ahmed Shukri, you're a donkey.
Okay.
Immediately his face will be the index of his mind. Right? Smiling, he'll be coming to say, hello, and you look like a donkey, man. See, immediately it changes. Yeah? You're passing by a dustbin and something really rotten is there. You'll say, no, right? Yeah? Your body speaks. Your body speaks, and most importantly, your face speaks. So when you carry your expressions even on your face. You can't say, I was very angry. Haha. Right? So carry your face. Your face is an index of the mind. Carry your message on the face too. When you have a sad, grumpy face, show it as a sad, grumpy face. When you have a happy face, in the character that you're presenting, present a happy face. Finally, thoughts make the body. So make sure that your thoughts are tied up to your body. Very quick points. 7% of your message is by voice, and the balance 93 is non-verbal. How many times have you gone across to foreign countries and said, what's this? Water. What is this? These are the basics of communication where you don't need language. And even if you don't know the language, even if a person speaks Arabic and a fresh person lands here and he says, Maafi mushkil, yeah? He knows that this expression means no problem. So your mind knows to decipher the language that you're going to pass through. Use that, imagine that, and live those expressions. 33% of it is transferred by voice. Just like us, I'm very angry. I am extremely angry. Oh, I'm overjoyed. You know, I slipped. See, that's humor on me, you know. I slipped. Yeah. So what happens is, when you use your voice, your body language, and your thoughts, it becomes into actions, and your message is carried across through. Finally, I would like to close by saying that Ahmed Shukri is no longer a donkey. He's a fantastic person because he's going to come to speak next time. Yeah, and I'm sure that you have come across with these points that we've talked about: posture, gesture, body language, facial expression, and eye contact. I'm sure that you will be using your body language and using the stage as a canvas to paint your message, and the voice to carry the message and imprint them in the hearts and minds of people who are listening to you. I encourage you to go and speak out your mind. And just like our previous presenters said, search the topic that is just lying within you, that touches you close, and you can make a great speech out of it. God bless. Let's wait and hear the other speakers speak. I hope you have taken back some value after this presentation. If not, call me back. Always there. God bless. Back to you.